everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Bishop's Broadcast. I'm here today with Sister Oretta Knox, who is our greeter ministry leader, and Sister Ciara, I almost said Kiefer, Ciara Jordan, who is our Sunday school director. We're going to interview them tonight, but I want to get started with a couple of announcements first. We want you to remember this Sunday is our parking lot praise. We need everyone here at 10:30 so that you can be directed by our parking lot attendants on where to park. We will start promptly at 11, and then directly following service, our core leaders need to meet with Pastor John as he goes over our phased plan for opening up our ministry and our church services. Also, another announcement, we have some fundraisers that are still going on. T-shirts for sale. Racism is a Sin, and what's the other one? I Am Revival. They are $10 each, small through 4X. You can either put on our feed that you would like a size. We also have a table set out on Sundays with the t-shirts available, and we will get that to you. We have aprons and face masks that Sister Robin Varney is doing for our Capital Stewardship Program. That we have $5 face masks and then $20 for aprons for the adults, $10 for children, and $30 if you want the special gear like Cavaliers. We have people in Tennessee ordering Tennessee Vols. We have the Kentucky Wildcats and all of that good stuff. The other announcements we have, so tomorrow night we will be interviewing Sister Terry and Brother Jeff with the Second Chance Thrift Shop. We're excited about that. That's a newer ministry that we have that is a great outreach to our community. And then on Saturday we have a Bible study scheduled with myself and Pastor John. So we hope you plan to attend. Mark your calendars, put your alarms on so that you can join us and share this video. So if you are on right now, please click share. At the end, we will have time for questions for both greeter and Sunday school. So please put in your questions as well. I want to start with Sister Knox. These ladies, by the way, are my traveling buddies. We always travel the world together, so I know them very well. They're some of my favorites. Now, Sister Knox.
Ma'am.
First, before we get started with the greeter ministry, tell me how you came to Aspinwall Church.
Well, we had moved into the neighborhood, me and my husband and I, and looking for a church. We each had our own churches, but we needed to go to one church so we could put the time in and work. We were not able to really commit to anything in our churches. So I would hear the music out of the window. I would see the cars come into the parking lot. So I decided we need to check this church out. So the first time I came, it was okay. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. And then a little while after that, we came back and it was like, wow, this is wonderful. We really enjoyed it, and from that point on, we can probably count the Sundays that we've missed.
Amen. I know Brother and Sister Knox travel with us to the General Assembly. They go on family vacation with us. We've been on boat rides. We have been together in Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia. We've had a really good time together through the years. Now, Sister Ciara, I've heard rumors about how long you've been here, but please tell us, how'd you come to Aspinwall?
Well, it depends on who you ask. Tone Hodges said that I was born in the baptistry. I was in fact not born in the baptistry. My mom grew up here, and after meeting my dad, she moved away when they got married to West Virginia and Virginia. And then we moved back when I was 2-ish, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah, I've heard that there was a possible dedication that involved the baptistry, maybe like something like the Lion King. Oh, but I guess that wasn't true. You've been here since you were about 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, ladies, talking about the greeter ministry, talking about the Sunday school ministry, Ciara, can you explain how you got involved with becoming the Sunday school director?
Well, I started as a Sunday school teacher. It was an Easter Sunday, probably about 10 years ago. I was sitting over where the little kids sit, and they started to file in, and I just heard that little voice and said, you know, ask Elaine about being a first grade Sunday school teacher. And I'm like, you don't just ask somebody about being a first grade Sunday school teacher. She has a first grade Sunday school teacher. And a couple weeks went by, and I finally went to her, and I was like, Elaine, you know, I would really like to get involved with the Sunday school, and blah, blah, blah. And I said something about the first grade Sunday school, and I'm like, but you have a first grade Sunday school teacher. And she's like, well, no, that's weird. 2 weeks ago, the Sunday school teacher stepped down. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I, you know, went and helped Nikki for like a few months through the summer and all that. And then I took over that year, that started that school year. And I think I taught the first grade class for probably about 4 or 5 years. And then Pastor E asked me, you know, do you want to start with, like, he offered for me to do the early childhood side. And, you know, told me there was a 90-day trial period, and he would come back and check if I didn't like it. If I was uncomfortable, he would, you know, we'd figure something else out. And he never checked back after 90 days. And like 6 months later, I became the whole Sunday school director.
Right. So at the time, we had two kind of split Sunday school directors. We had pre-K through second grade was under Sister Elaine Slaughter, and then third grade and up was under Sister Emily Fain. And then, so your 90-day trial turned into what? What year is this now?
I came in the August before Pastor John became senior pastor in like February, I think. So it's been what, like 6 years?
6 years?
Something like that.
So 90 days to 6 years. Look, if you offer to help at Aspinwall Church,
Don't volunteer anything unless you're willing to do it for life.
It's for life. No, but truly what's interesting is many of our leaders that have been put into position here have expressed during these meetings that they have been, they offered to help in some way, and then they kind of got sucked in to leadership. So that Sister Knox, can you tell us about your greeter ministry?
Now that you mention it, yes. The person that was in charge was leaving town, and Pastor John asked me to temporarily take over the greeter ministry, and I'm like, oh, I've been coming, so yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. And then later he asked me, was I going to remain or something to that effect, and I said, well, you know, I think it's okay. He said, well, pray on it. And I don't think we've discussed it since. I'm just it.
You're still praying.
Yeah, I'm still praying on it. I guess I didn't get back to him soon enough, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So tell us a little bit about the greeter ministry. What do you do? Who do you work with? And all of that good stuff.
Okay. The greeter ministry meets you hopefully at the door or once you get into the building. We give you a bulletin if we have it, sweets if we have it, and a smile or a handshake. That's mandatory. To make you feel welcome, because that is so important when you're coming in, especially our first-time visitors, but we find that even our old time, our family, everybody expects that hug or that handshake and an acknowledgement. So we come in and we get prepared for them to come in, and the main thing is a smile. I think most of them like a smile. I know when I came here, that's what brought me back. I could not believe how friendly everybody was. They didn't know me from Adam, but everybody's just, they jumped up and they're hugging you and they're smiling at you and telling you names that you won't remember right then. But it was very important, and it's just a really important ministry. I truly enjoy doing it and getting to know people. You get to know a lot of people too.
Absolutely. I know statistically, I think they say people make a decision about a church in the first 20 seconds. Is that right? Somewhere about 2 minutes? Oh, okay. So within 2 minutes of time from coming to the parking lot, it's an experience situation that we work with in because this kind of environment is really customer service, to be
Right.
quite honest. And, you know, you go to a good McDonald's who smiles at you, greets you, and welcomes you and gets your food through,
Mhm.
you're happy to come back. And so the same, this is spiritual food. And we want to not only give good spiritual food, but make people feel welcome to be here.
And may I add one other thing? Some people are really shocked at the way we approach them, because if we smile and then sometimes we may say, "Can I have a hug?" Well, of course, that was before this time now, but they are really shocked when you do that. You're smiling at them, you're giving them a hug, and just let one lady jump back. She said, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that, but I really needed that.
Aw.
Can I have another?" You know, and it makes a big difference to people. They come in, they're looking out of sorts, they don't know where they're really going, and then they come in and you smile at them, and it makes everybody feel better, including you as that
Yeah.
person, knowing that you made somebody's day. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I enjoy that.
Absolutely. Sister Ciara, talking about the Sunday school, tell us a little bit how our Sunday school program is set up and why it's important to Aspinwall Church.
We are, I think the thing about our Sunday school that's different in like now is that so many people have moved to like kids ministry, student ministry, young adult, where Sunday school, we still have traditional Sunday school where it goes from pre-K to high school. I personally feel that the Sunday school ministry is, and I don't want to say it like I feel like it's the most important thing or my ministry is more important than another, but it's one of the most important in the church, any ministry that deals with the kids and youth, because if you don't have them, your church is going to sit where it's at and eventually just go away. I mean, you need them for, you're not going to have a ladies ministry, a men's ministry, you don't need a greeter ministry, you don't need all these, if you don't first have Sunday school and something for the kids and the youth. So I think, you know, that's the reason why it's so important to have that. And I mean, I forget the statistics, but whatever it is, parents will leave. If you don't offer something for the kids, parents are going to leave your church after the first visit or two, because at the end of the day, we do things based on our kids' comfort, what they have going, and you don't want to sometimes have to deal with your, you know, you need that moment. I had someone one time a couple years ago say to me, she was on the way out the door and she's like, "I'm just not gonna come back till he's older." And nothing I said or did in that moment was gonna keep her or bring her back, because he wouldn't go sit in class, he wouldn't sit in the sanctuary, and so you have to have something there, or else you're going to lose a couple of generations. You're gonna lose that generation of parents who are usually young adults, and you're gonna lose that next generation after them to go on and carry what we're doing now.
Absolutely. Now, as a reminder, if you're watching and you have any questions for Sister Knox with the Greeter Ministry or Sister Ciara with the Sunday School Ministry, please comment and we will get those questions asked at the end of our session. So, Sister Knox, you talked about why it's important as far as the smiles and the hugs. Talk a little bit about the special programs that we do with the Greeter Ministry throughout the year.
As in for the revivals and, yeah, because there's some people that can't come on Sunday and be a part of the Greeter Ministry. So then they'll volunteer for special programs. Maybe we'll have revival, or we just may have a guest speaker, and we always like to have greeters at the door. So we get involved in that. And basically, anything where someone needs to be at the door, we try to have someone at that door to give them a smile and welcome them. Anytime it's, well, even with our family, the family looks forward to seeing us also. So whoever is here, we like to try to greet them at that door.
Oh, awesome. Now, tell us how others can get involved in the Greeter Ministry.
Well, I tell these young people they can be a part of it, but once they come, they have to realize they represent me as a leader. So if they're not really sincere about it, don't even bother. And then I'll break down to them exactly what's expected of them, which is only like 30 to 45 minutes on the door. I need them to look the person in the eye, hug, handshake, but something to acknowledge. Hi, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you came. And my only problem with the young ones is they'll say they want to do it, and then they don't show up on schedule.
Mhm.
So, for the most part, just let me know that you want to do it, or tell any of the leaders and they'll direct you to me. And then I'll usually just talk to them, ask them a few basic questions, and hopefully we can get involved. We can go and get started. And I try to get them on right away,
Mhm.
because I make my schedule 3 months in advance. But if I have someone that shows an interest, I like for them to come on and do it, so we can see, are you really interested? Do you see what you have to do?
Right. And I know we have a variety of age group that does the greeter ministry. I think we've had a couple people even that their legs were bad, and so they had to sit at the door
Right.
and pass them out. And we're still happy to have anyone help in the greeter ministry that has a smile,
Mhm.
is willing to shake a hand. Now, COVID-19, we're not shaking hands, but
Right,
even Pastor E, we could fist bump or something. I
right,
don't
but some kind of contact, but the smile is the main thing.
Absolutely.
That's the number one thing. We need that smile. If you can't touch, we'll get you later, but it'll happen before the year is out.
Right. And I know with the greeter ministry, like Sister Knox said, there's a 3-month schedule, so it's a commitment that maybe you get involved with that you only have to do once a month, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
And sometimes, I have had points where it wasn't even once a month. And then there's also options. You can be at the door with the people coming inside, or I can have you outside the sanctuary.
Just hold the door
So
open,
whichever
right?
one you want, just opening the door for people, and they've already been told good morning, but you just letting them know, we are really glad to see you. So here's a door, I'm gonna hold this one open for you too. And that takes people back to their life. Oh, okay. So I think it's a very good ministry, and you get to know people. They know your name, you get to know their names, especially after you've been doing it for a while. You get
Right.
to know each other, and that's very important, to know who your church family is.
Right. Sister Ciara, tell me about some of the special events that the Sunday school department does each year and how people can get involved with you.
Well, our biggest event is VBS that we do every summer. Let's see, what are some other, can't think of it. VBS is
Backpack Sunday.
Backpack Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Those are the two big ones in the summertime. We're looking at, maybe trying to add some things in the wintertime also. It's so easy to do things in summertime. If you want to, anyone wanting to be a part of the Sunday school ministry, see me here, message me, call me, text me, if you have my number. And we have all kinds of spots and things to do. I can even find something, if you don't want to work with kids, I can find something for you to do. Sometimes just somebody there who's going to specifically say, I'm going to pray for your ministry. I'm going to pray for the Sunday school ministry. Is a great person, great people to have, but we have all kinds. I would really like to get to the place where I had an assistant in every single room. It works for the rooms that we have it in. And Pastor John and I have discussed even, hopefully in the near future, doing almost like greeters for the Sunday school department, but aside from, not to take your, but aside from those greeters, somebody who's up there specifically, because you don't want the normal, just regular greeters to be walking away from the door and leaving it, and 10 other people can come in. And so having maybe a couple people up there when people come in with kids to come in and say, hey, I can walk you down to their teacher, I can introduce you, or I can just take them to the teacher, to the class that they belong in. So we have all kinds of things that you can do, ways you can get involved. VBS is coming in a couple of months as far as we know at this point. And we want to do it big, have lots of help. We need lots of help when you have tons of kids running around in a building. So just get a hold of me any way you can. You can see me here or Facebook, whatever.
I know one of the things that we've all been encouraged to do in the leadership is to mentor others. And I know several of the classrooms, like Sister Ciara was saying, have assistants that they are grooming the next era of Sunday school teachers. So I know that Sister Sudi's class has Sister Denise, and they take turns teaching, so that at first it was Sister Sudi leading the whole class and Denise just learning and developing her skills, and now she will substitute for Sister Sudi, and she'll even teach some on Wednesday nights as well. So our goal is not just to have one teacher, but multiple teachers, that if somebody calls off sick or feels concerned about coming in because of COVID-19, right now Sunday school is not running, unfortunately, and greeter ministry is not running at the moment because we're all in parking lot praise service, but it is an opportunity now that you could be thinking about, how can I help these ministries out when the time comes and the doors open. I know Pastor John has really encouraged all of us to use this time as a reset, as a recharge, as a refuel. And if that means that maybe the Lord, just like he was tugging on Ciara's heart in 10 years ago saying, hey, I need a first grade Sunday school teacher, maybe the Lord is tugging on your heart right now and says, you know what, I could definitely be that helper in the classroom, or that person that directs people to classes, or even maybe somebody that's good with computers that would like to get a log and track of our attendance more proficiently. You know, anything to do to help with these ministries. If you're not really a super big people person, for Sister Knox in the greeter ministry, maybe you could just be the person that holds the door open for someone, or walks somebody, or pushes the button to the elevator even, you know, for the elderly. So there are ways to get involved, and that doesn't necessarily require you to get out of your comfort zone, but it's a way that you can help and glorify the Lord. So now, do we have any questions? We have some questions. So now is the hot seat, ladies, where you're not knowing what's going to happen. So
all right.
What do we got?
First question is, what are the ages of the different classes that you have that we offer here at the church? And so that's for Ciara.
We have all of our early childhood classes are combined right now with 2 teachers and then a helper on top of that. So you have pre-K to 2nd grade in the same classroom, and it works out because it's not hard to like make a lesson fit for all of those age groups. And then 3rd grade is its own class. Sister Nora teaches that. 4th grade is with Sister Terry. 5th grade is with Sister Pam. 6th grade is Sister Barbara Lewis, and then of course 7th and 8th is with Sudi and Sister Denise, and then high school Amber teaches, and usually Nikki is in with her too, kind of, if she can't be there or whatever.
Then we have adult classes. And
Oh yeah, there's
discipleship.
adult classes and all of that, the discipleship classes that have just started, and
And it's from 10 to 11, usually on Sunday.
Another question is, if I don't want to teach, but I can help out with the kids in the classroom, is that available? If, say, I don't think I want to be a teacher, but just a helper.
that's a definite possibility. I mean, that's something that I've had people say before, I just don't want to teach, I don't want to go in there and teach. And I'm like, you're not going to teach of course, the first time or the first month or anything else, but if you specifically say, I just don't want to. When Denise started, she came in and she sat at the table to the side and took offering and attendance, and if something needed passed out, if something needed taken to another area in the church, that's what she did. And then it kind of, as time went on, she decided that she was, she had gained the confidence and was comfortable with teaching the class herself if needed. So yeah, there's definitely things to do if you're just not comfortable teaching.
What if I don't want to commit to a Sunday school class, but could fill in every once in a while when you need subs?
I would actually, I would love to have a list of just sub teachers that I could call on that it could be once every couple months, whatever. I would love to have a list of just people that if I needed somebody, I could call on them.
Sister Knox, do you think it's okay if some younger ones want to be with you at the door to greet even the younger ones as they come in? Is there an age limit that you have?
I have an age limit, but I forgot to mention, I did have two of our smaller children. I had Amir and Nikolai one time worked with me at the door. And they really loved being there when I'm passing out candy. So they were a big help though, because we were giving out the other pass-offs and then they were passing out the candy. But then they'll get bored quickly. So as long as there's an adult there to say, don't forget, give her some candy, they're good. So other than that, as far as being a greeter, I'd say 16. But anytime the children are interested, I would take them on. They would be able to stay at the door.
Then Pastor Johnson from Wabash, Indiana, says that he loves and misses you and Brother Knox, and you need to come back soon. And he said he's ready to eat a big old sandwich with you guys.
Oh, wonderful.
A mile
We
high
can't
sandwich,
wait.
right?
So,
Yes.
and then somebody asked, Sister Knox, how long have you been putting up with that man the Lord has given you?
Oh, man, I'm in church. Don't make me talk about it. But it's been 14 long years.
Long and loving, right?
Well,
Brother
long.
Deacon Knox always says, that woman the Lord gave me, so this
Yes.
person says, that man the Lord gave me.
Yes, I have to keep him in line. He doesn't admit it, but I do.
All right, and then the last question is for, hold on, I just seen it here, was for,
One thing I did want to mention while he's looking up that, as far as the greeter and Sunday school ministry, if you want to get involved, not by way of actually being on the forefront, you could get involved by donating snacks or candy to these ministries. Every teacher provides a snack to the children on Sunday mornings, and I know they willingly do it out of their own pockets as a donation to their class because they're very invested in their kids. So if you ever, see a sale on potato chips or, donuts or whatever, you got, a free dozen donuts at the Dunkin' Donuts, bring it in, and Ciara and her class would be happy to pass them out to kids. So that's another way, candy for the revivals and for the door greeters. Any way you can get involved.
I got a couple more here. One, it says, David Snell, I'm not sure if he's asking, when are they gonna get back, or, is David Snell, does he greet with you guys?
Yes, he does.
Oh, okay, so he's just saying that, anybody can be involved and he can't wait to get back, that's what he's saying.
Yes.
And then also, question for Ciara. What do you think we could do to grow the numbers in our Sunday school department? Incentives for the kids.
Well, I think that we're at a very important time anyways, because we're gonna have a lot of parents who are looking for somewhere for their kids to go. And so we plan on my plan is as soon as we are really allowed and people are in parks and so forth and the weather is clear, is to try to go out on Saturdays and hit the parks with cans of pop, bottles of water with our stuff, stuck to it, and hopefully get some people that way. As far as doing like promotions and incentives, that's something that I'm working on. I don't have anything solid at the moment, but I plan on coming at it hard. We've had kind of a time, like we've said, to refresh, reboot, and get back out there. So, I really think, and not that I feel like the work should be done for me or for us, but we may have a number jump just because some people are looking for places to go or places to send their kids.
No kids, no future. No
Yeah.
kids, no future.
Right.
Right.
All right, so that's all the questions.
All right, so we thank you for joining us. I want to remind you of the announcements in case you weren't on earlier in the opening. But we do have t-shirts for sale. Racism is a Sin and I Am Revival, $10 each, sizes small to 4X. We also have our apron sales still going on, and Sister Robin is also doing the masks, $5 per mask, and the aprons are $20, $10, and $30 based on size or style. And we also want to remind you about Parking Lot Praise this Sunday. We do not want you to miss it. We're excited. I can tell you the testimonies of people, they roll their windows down and they say, thank you for letting us come to church. We are so blessed and so happy. So definitely please be here in your car this Sunday. Don't forget, tomorrow night is the Second Chance Thrift Shop. Jeff and Terry will be interviewed. And on Saturday, we will have a Saturday Bible study at 7 p.m. with myself and Pastor John. I also want to remind you of your giving. I know that there has been a lot of faithfulness, and we thank you. We appreciate you. We honor you for your faithfulness to the Lord during this time. But remember that you can give your tithes, offerings, fundraisers, or any special offerings through online giving, aspinwallchurch.com, through our text to give, which is 216-925-GIVE. And then also you can mail it in to P.O. Box 126, Cleveland, Ohio 44110, or just come drop it in our mail slot. So we thank you so much for being with us, and we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night.